This session deals with the seventh chapter in SS1 India after Independence. The chapter describes the history of independent India. For the easy learning process, let's divide the chapter into two. The first part deals with the challenges faced the independent India, and second, the progress attained by the independent India. Let's turn to the first part, that is the challenges faced by the independent India. The first part not only describes the challenges but the ways we have overcome these problems. Let's watch the quotation given by Rabindranath Tagore about India during 1940s. The first and foremost challenge India faced during the period was flow of refugees. Let's watch a video along with the description. During that time, there was an influx of refugees from India to Pakistan and vice versa. Along with this, communal riots broke out in various places like Calcutta, Bihar, Delhi, Punjab, Navkhali and Kashmir. These communal riots reached at its zenith when Gandhiji, who led the non-violent movement to free India from British rule, was shot at by Nathuram Vinayak Godse when he was heading for a prayer meeting on 30th January 1948. Thousands of people were killed and women were attacked. As a result, different sections of people lost their belongings and became refugees. Around 10 million, which means 1 crore people traveled as refugees on foot, trains and bullock carts. This was noted in history the largest refugee or flow of refugee. We, the independent India, solved these issues by adopting the rehabilitation efforts and affirmative actions of the government. The second challenge faced the independent India was the integration of princely states. During the British rule, there was 3 political regions in India. One, the British India, which was directly ruled by the British. Second, the princely states ruled by princely heads. And the third is the regions ruled by or controlled by France, Portugal, etc. The Mountbatten Plan offered to the princely states a free movement towards Pakistan or India, or they can stand independent. The integration of these princely states into Indian Union was the important task before the new nation. The task was taken by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who was the Union Minister, and he appointed VP Man, a Keralite, as Secretary of the Department of the States. They planned an instrument of accession which stipulated that the princely states had to transfer their control over defense, external affairs and information and communication to the government of India. Following the diplomacy of the government and popular protests, majority of the princely states signed the instrument of accession, except Hyderabad, Kashmir and Junagadh. But finally, they too were integrated into Indian Union. After independence, there was some regions which were controlled by France and Portugal. Following mass protest, France handed over its territories under their control, and Portugal too. The table gives the details of the regions which were controlled by France and Portugal. The third problem faced by India and solved by independent India was the constitution and the first general election. As per the recommendations of the cabinet mission, a constituent assembly was formed in 1946 under the chairmanship of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and a constitution drafting committee was constituted under the leadership of B.R. Ambedkar. Thus, the constitution came into effect on 26th January 1950 and India was declared as a republic. The first general election in line with the constitution was held in 1951-52. This free and fair election was a success of Indian democracy. The fourth challenge was the linguistic reorganization of states. There were many princely states with people speaking different languages. So there was an issue of communication in administration and the day-to-day life of the common people. In 1920, the Nagpur session of the International Congress resolved to form its state committee on the basis of the language. After independence, people agitated for the formation of the states along linguistic lines. Poti Sri Ramalu, a freedom fighter, started Satyagraha for the formation of Andhra Pradesh for Telugu-speaking people. After 58 days of fasting, his martyrdom, and it intensified the mass agitation. So, in 1953, the government of India formed State of Andhra Pradesh for Telugu-speaking people. After this, the demand for linguistic states intensified. The government of India formed a commission to reorganize Indian states on the basis of language, which was headed by Fasal Ali, and the important members were H.N. Gunsru and Keralite K.M. Panikar. As per the recommendations of the commission, the parliament passed the State Reorganization Act in 1956. Thus, 14 states and 6 union territories came into effect.